the first part, and you just get cut out. Yeah, don't know what just happened. My video just cut out. So, we are talking about Scar, Makuta Duncan's faithful companion, who is one of the biggest dinosaurs in all of creation. He is twice the size of Makuta Duncan and is twice as large. And I don't mean that as a good thing. Scar weighs over 62 tons and has a bite force to make Tyrannosaurus Rex look pathetic. Gameplay in the background is of course Ark Survival Evolved. Gotta do the walk like a chicken. Oh, fly. Scorched Earth DLC. Scar began life as a baby, like everyone else does, but as an egg, as a child, a young dinosaur orphaned by its mother. Because of this, Scar was found by Draxon, later the father of Makuta Duncan, and Rachel, John, and Annette. Because of this, Draxon would eventually give the child, the young, to his son, Makuta Duncan, who at the time was very young and very, very undeveloped. Because of this unfortunate downside, it made Scar and MD eventually get along quite well, as the two would grow up protecting each other. Fly down, fly around. Scar is, of course, will become in charge as the big boss of all Cliffracerosauruses. But it doesn't end there. Cliffracerosauruses are very dangerous individuals. Standing at over 6 foot, standing well over the height of Makuta Duncan, at their recorded height, they are known to be about 34 foot tall. That is a standard male. A female is 38 foot tall, as females and those dinosaurs are always bigger than the males. Scar, however, is different, due to him being basically Makuta Duncan's best friend. Received part of a leasing. This meant that Scar would grow bigger than what his species allowed, what his species was. Scar grew to be 3 times larger than MD. Well, 2 times larger than Makuta Duncan, as well as 4 times longer and larger, as well as 1 time larger than that, but 8 times larger than what his species was. Cliffracerosauruses, however, would get the short end of the shtick. During an early war that had happened on Spherus Magna, Cliffracerosauruses, unfortunately, were utilized in war. And a war that was horrific, known as the Great Universal Wars. These wars basically incorporated many systems against each other, and worlds would be decided from this war. What would be inhabitable and what wouldn't be. And the Cliffracerosauruses were perfect steeds for the Spherus Magnians. Their original scale colours were said to be like that of a rainbow encrusted into their hide. Ever since they have been donned and forced to wear armour that has been heavily bolted into their skin, They now look black as midnight. And Scar actually has this look. But it doesn't end there. Cliff Racerosauruses, even though it has been centuries since they've had to wear the armor, still look like they wear it because it's a good defense against predators, against other enemies. This includes their number one foe, the Insectosaurids, upright versions of themselves, basically. Cliff Racerosauruses don't stop there. They also have the power of flight, and are very dangerous when they bite. Much like many other carnivorous dinosaurs, they have a form of bacterial warfare, where in their jaws they allow food to decay in there so they can use it against prey. Cliff Racerosauruses also have another unique feature that many other dinos do not, that many other species don't. I'm missing Rixie again. Go get her. This feature is the fact that they've got 4 wings. 2 large wings that are big. I'm not kidding. They are big. Oh, we got Pocket following us. Good. Come on, Pocket. Because we need to go find that dinosaur. Should probably still be up on the cliff. I know where Rixie is. Is that her over there? Yep, there she is. Save her. They have 2 small wings, which is that. And, well, you're probably wondering why they've got the nickname Cliff Racer in them. Because they used to be, when they started out, share some traits that would later be picked up by the Tamrielic Cliff Racers. For instance, their angular jaw. Speaking about what a Cliff Racerosaurus looks like, they have a silverish grey head with 2 diamond white horns arcing back. These horns are actually very dangerous when they also have a small ebony yellow horn in the center of their forehead that injects a poison, and also have a long tusk that juts out. For instance, basically, for those of you who want to know what I'm talking about, basically picture a Fenrak head, like from Vison Fenrak, but picture it without any teeth, and 2 of the Dalu weapons from the 2006 Victorian used as the bottom jaw. That is Cliff Racerosaurus' lower jaw. This doesn't mean much though for MD. Scar is a much more bigger individual and has colours that actually mean he's quite a bit different to a standard Cliff Racerosaurus. His colours on his wings, which symbolises what dominance they are actually that of what the ancestral ones were. He bears rainbow-crusted wings, and the same jewel patterns that they once were. Oh, this was one. Actually, it's good. Sorry about this. Unfortunately deal with it. Scar would eventually leave, or meaning would eventually leave the pack that was the last surviving pack on Spherus Magna. And he would lead it quite well. We were around. Will Duncan ever find his base? Find out next time. Yeah. Scar, however, doesn't end there, as most Cliff Race resources are able to even speak the Tauran and other languages as well. This makes Scar quite a bit more different to the others. There's Dinos. Other Rexes. Scar was eventually disappeared, hiding after the shattering of Spherus Magna. Because of this, Scar hid where most Cliff Race resources were safe and would be safe. Most of the other ones didn't have a chance in their life to get there, unfortunately, as it was they were either out or were unfortunately too late to realize that the planet was shattering. And a good 30%, good 90% of the population of the Cliff Race resources was wiped out. The surviving 10%, which dwelled over 10,000 from 6 million, from 400 million, had survived and planned to dominate and populate the place as they once had. Because of this, Cliff Race resources were eventually considered a threat to the surviving Spherus Magnians. About Magnians. Sorry. Let's get the hell up. What's his face about? eventually Scar would be left with still over 10,000. One, two, three. Who have we got? Rixie, Tura. So we're missing both the males. So we're missing both Scar and the other one. We're gonna go find those two, and then we're gonna go find my base. The base. There's one of them. Off there. That is. Back over to the diamond group. Bloody hell, Microraptors are annoying, aren't they? Scar would eventually lead many survival raids on Spherus Magna, and eventually would later be discovered by MD. Because of it, would piss off Helrix, who had thought all of the Cliff had been wiped out. When she sought out Scar to try and turn him away from her, MD, Scar replied with, as bluntly as he could, "Why the hell would I turn away from my family?" From that moment onwards, Helrix has hated the entire race of Cliff. Because of this, Helrix has tried many times in getting Duncan kicked off Spherus Magna and exiled, and well, nearly succeeded. When MD would later reconnect with Scar, Scar would remain by MD's side for many years, even through many wars. And there you are. lead you back to the others. Which is near the mountain ranges here. I know where exactly they are. They're in the same place. It's bigger, Max. Anyway, after we acquainted with MD and learning what had happened over the many years the duo had been apart, where the hell is everyone? Stop with that, we'll further down. Yeah, we're near the archway that we went through. We went down that way. I'm on you. Scar would spend many years awaiting for the regeneration of Spirus Magna. We must know we arrived there. Scar saw him saw those masks crash land, but avoided it because he knew what had happened to his person who had given him 2 MD. And avoided Duncannuva as much as bloody well possible. I need a smaller hunting dino. Oh, right, they're down there. I know where they are. I'm on you. We're going the long way. Once I get them back there... Gotta go look for that base. Anyway, Scar would eventually end up fighting against many Toa and Glatorians, thinking he was a product of the Makuta. But because he had been on Spirus Magna longer, he fought back. And with the reintroduction of the Insectosauruses, again, a very small population of them, Scar would help them resettle. Scar eventually would have a son, and as well as a daughter, having his due to the Glyphosauruses having a birth rate of 2 eggs per parents. But a very long incubation period. This one? I have a funny feeling my base is this way. Yeah. After what seemed to be years between their first contact with Makuta Duncan and the Spirit of Magna reforming, Makuta Duncan would eventually find Scar again. But this time, so would Halrix. She had finally had enough and decided that, well, she was going to do something about the fact that Makuta Duncan was an evil bastard. She then set up blackmail that would incriminate Makuta Duncan in trying to kill Scar's son, Talos. However, Scar, knowing his best friend and father figure much more than Halrix did, knew that it was lies. But many other people did not know, and even though Scar, Makuta Duncan, and many other individuals who knew Makuta Duncan better than that fought on MD's side, they were all dismissed as delusional, thus resulting in why Makuta Duncan was exiled. After Makuta Duncan was exiled, Scar, the Cliff Racewasauruses, the Insectosauruses, surviving Makuta, and any Toa that had served with him, including Makuta Duncan's family, said that if anyone dare came near them, they would kill them. And Halrix couldn't have that. Oh, no, no, no. Halrix wants a perfect fucking world. Doesn't she? Yeah. Scar would personally root out and attack envoys to the Cliff Racewasauruses from Halrix. This pissed off Halrix, but Scar wouldn't stop there. During a mission to uncover the Tomb of Draxon, everybody thought was the Legion, but Halrix knew was Makuta Duncan's father. Scar, Lieutenant Daniel Remunatori, Scarecrow Anubis, well, not Anubis at this stage, and the Creator posted guards, as well as themselves, in front of the tomb, stopping Halrix from being able to get anywhere near it, greatly foiling her plans. When Makuta Duncan's exile was over, Makuta Duncan had killed and broke 8 times. Had killed many assassins sent by Halrix, but had been mentally broken 3 times. Is that it over there? Shouldn't be. Yep. People lose keys and wallets. I lose the entire flipping base. Maybe it's a sign to build somewhere else. Maybe. I'll grab my dinos later. I just want to find my base because it had my stuff. Such as an industrial freaking cooker. Over this way? All I know is we'll see green names on the outside of it. Anyway, yeah. Magruder Duncan would eventually be still mentally unstable and would fall asleep from basically working himself until his mind forced him to collapse from exhaustion. Scar would do something that no one ever, except for Haylene, could do. Because he knew Magruder Duncan could freeze, and freeze quite badly, Scar stayed near him and nursed him back to health, along with Haylene and his family. After Daniel, his son, had seen what Halrex had done to him, he began to speak against her, which pissed her off. Going so far as to saying the son of Magruder Duncan follows much like his father. Daniel would use logic and many other things, including blind tactics, to, well, fight against Halrex, and eventually would strike a crucial blow when a former Order of Matanui agent, Delta, spoke out against her, as did many other Order of Matanui agents, including the Gate Guardian Mustrum, and so on. After the Dark Hunter Midak and many other peoples spoke out against him, including Dracoon the Paraka, Takashi, the young female warrior, Tawa, Turaga, Glatorian, and all that, about her secret empire she wanted to create. She was forced out of everything and forced into exile. All because Magruder Duncan's son had grown a conscience, basically. But it would later be which would bite her in the ass. Halen would eventually attempt to attack MD, but not from an early warning from Daniel, in which the Titanic recruiter stabbed her in the head. With the Dark Katana. Scar would be on looking and would watch. Eventually, when Magruder Duncan relocated his entire family, including Scar, to a new dimension, Scar's family would also have followed. Impressed by this new dimension, as it was bigger than Spherus Magna, it had more food than Spherus Magna. Scar eventually became the watchdog, along with his son. Talos would eventually be given as an egg to Marisa and Alice of Gensokyo. I think I actually built around here. T-Rex skull. There's dead trees. My base over this way? Prepare to be amazed if my base is over this way, guys. Ruined house. Water. Nope. I'll get my other dinos to pillow later. Notable features about Scar. Well, his name actually is derived from the battle damage to his face. Scar has a massive three-clawed cut on the side of his head from an unknown attacker. Not only that, but Scar has there for my dinos. Has the flesh ripped away on one of his tusks, as well as a hole drilled through the same tusk. Scar's teeth are also very long. How long do you mean? You probably are asking. Scar's teeth are the long of MD's arm from the elbow down, and MD's arm, well, is very long. Here? Oh, them. Scar would eventually be quite more dangerous later on in life, as dinosaurs and wolves tend to be as the older they are. Scar eventually reached what was known as the primordial alpha stage, in which he was big, imposing, and very, very deadly. Unfortunately, Scar eventually died of old age, 6 years before Duncan would become the librarian. After Duncan learned of his friend's passing, he held a funeral for him and buried him in the tomb that his father and his siblings, wife and children had been buried in as well, before he too buried himself. Scar would eventually be mentioned by the librarian later in his career, when thinking of prototypes of robots to make. And the Scarbots are what crossed his mind. Up until MD died as Librarian. When the Librarian would die and take on the form of an avatar, it would choose the form that MD was, because MD was one of the more nicer librarians of the library. Because of this, the Scar would eventually be shown as a picture in the Guardians of the Library. Scar eventually would be later reused again in the tomb. When tomb robbers would break into Recruiter Duncan's family tomb and try to rob it from it. Scar was the biggest impact on MD's life and was what brought him out of a very nasty depression and turned for the worst. Even though Scar and MD spent many years apart, their family, the fact that they are family, is what brought them back, would bring them back together for many, many years. Scar and MD were so uninseparable that even when they reunited millions of millennia later, it was like two brothers who had not seen each other for years reuniting. Scar was the only living creature, other than a few mentioned, to be able to even think about cracking MD's armor. He had the bite force for it. And Scar was the last means necessary to kill MD. If MD ever went savage. Alright, so that is the end of Scar and his tale. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and unfortunately I'm going to have to cut it short. Now, I was going to show you my Ark survival base. That will be a video for another day. I'm going to have to eventually go and find... I actually have to find the base first. All I know is I built near a cliff with trees nearby. So that's like a million places left. What I'm going to be doing is going square by square from the right hand side of the map to the left. I've got a funny feeling I've been building on the third left down there, near Mickey Mouse's place. Anyway, I'm Duncannuva saying to you, once Superior on, and good night.